Hi everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Art for the Heart, a program where we use creativity to keep our heart and our minds healthy. I'm Jessica, a Child and Youth Liaison at Family Futures Resource Network, and if you recognize me, you are correct, you have seen me in our Skills to Pay the Bills program, which talks about navigating the world of adulting. So if that is a topic that interests you, go check those videos out. But in this program, we will be looking at an art project today. In the last video, you sculpted clay masks with Janelle, looking at the emotion that you commonly express to the world. Today we will be painting those masks, but first I'd like to ask you a question. And we would love, when you're done your project, to show us your art and the answer to this question up on social media and tag us at Family Futures Resource Network. So the question is, if you could pick any song or album to be your musical backtrack, what would it be and why? We're going to start with a brief discussion about color theory. In your pamphlets, you will have a color wheel like this one. On the wheel, we have the primary colors of red, yellow, blue, and the secondary colors green, purple, and orange. And our tertiary colors, in between. So we can use the color wheel as a reference when highlighting or shading. So of course you can also use black and white paint to shade and highlight, but we'll show you some different ways to use color theory in your art. So we will start with black and white, which you're probably already familiar with. I'm going to paint a big shiny red apple. And I like to color outside of the lines because coloring in the lines is boring. Okay, and so in shading, we'll take a smidge of black, very minimal, and I'll add it in on the outside. And you can see it starts to blend into the red. Of course, we can go back in, add more red. I'm gonna grab just a bit more. And voila, you're getting shading. Likewise, I will go in, clean brush, grab some white. Don't need a lot to get some highlighting going. There is quite a contrast between that highlight and that shade. We can go back in with some red, smooth it out, make it look a little more natural. And that's black and white paint. So another way to highlight and shade is to use complementary colors. So complementary colors are the two colors on the wheel that are directly opposite of each other. So red and green are complementary colors. And so we can use complementary colors to shade your primary color because they desaturate the color. They kind of cancel each other out. So again, I'm going to make a nice red apple. Okay. And so now I'm going to take a bit of green. We'll see how that works out for us. See how it gets significantly darker than what it would look like on its own as it's mixing with the red. So that is another way to shade using complementary colors. So another technique we have for you today is using analogous colors to highlight. So analogous colors are the colors that sit beside each other on the color wheel. So again, if we're using red for our apple, we can look to this purplish shade or this semi-orange shade, and we can use that to highlight. And that will give, I think, just a more consistent tone than the white did, because even here you can see that might be myself as well. That might just be my skill. Okay, well, let's get some highlight on our apple. I'll take a little bit of orange. We'll see how this works. I don't know if we want to darken it a bit to make it more similar to red, but I think it's working pretty okay. And there you go. There are some highlighting and shading techniques. So let's move on to our masks now. So for our masks, we are asking you to consider the emotion you thought of while you were sculpting, the emotion that you show most to the world, and paint it however you think that looks for you. And so keep in mind in your kits, if you received a kit from us for registering for the program, you will for sure have your primary colors, maybe a couple secondary colors. But our challenge for you as you're doing this project is to mix and blend your colors to get the colors that you want to suit your emotion. So we're very excited to see how you do with that challenge. So going into it, I'm gonna start with some blue for my emotion. So we want you to think about, like we said, the emotion you show on the outside. And for extra credit, you can consider internally what kinds of expressions you wish you could show to others, who you are on the inside, what you really feel on the inside, that you wish you could bring forward. I'm gonna add some more blue, and you might be thinking, what? Blue on the face? Keeping in mind that we are painting what we think other people see from us. So I sculpted a more concerned mask, and to me, blue is kind of one of those gloomy, concerned colors. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. We'll try out some of my highlighting techniques, see how that goes. So that's our activity for today. Make sure to post a picture of your art for us online and tag us at Family Futures Resource Network. We would love to see it. If you enjoyed these couple of videos, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Lets us know that we should make more of this content for you guys, that you want to see it. And thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you next time.